Good evening. Today I will be talking about two stories. One of those is my story, and another is that of a couple of young people who I work with, who are bringing prosperity in their communities in Sierra Leone, Kenya, and South Africa, even before they leave their parents' homes. Now, my story is influenced by my experience growing up in Sierra Leone. And what I do is I develop prosthesis. I try to make comfortable prosthetic sockets for patients all over the world. Now, it doesn't really matter whether you're loaded or not, or whether you're poor somewhere in Cambodia or Sierra Leone or Mexico. Everybody has crappy prosthesis. The prosthetic socket, which is the interface where the patient's limb goes in, is uncomfortable. And what I do with a bunch of researchers is figure out ways in which you can do medical imaging to get models of your limb, create models based on soft tissue biomechanics, and then 3D print multi-material systems. Now, it's not just theory. We are currently doing this, and that is my professor, who's a double amputee. That's him taking the leg shot there. He's like a leg model. And that's a prosthesis that he uses, and we do this already for patients all across in Boston. But that happens at the Media Lab at MIT, where they tell us to dream every day and be free to explore. More like places like here, where people come and tell you about ideas and tell you to dream and follow those dreams. I also come from Sierra Leone. It's a beautiful place in West Africa, perhaps in the news for some of the wrong reasons today, but a place where my heart belongs. There, when I wake up every day, I don't get told to go and change the world. In fact, what I see is that if I want to change the world, I should call Action Aid. I see that if I want to do something, I should call World Vision. There is reduction in creative and self-efficacy. Now, the youth in my community growing up are not told every day to go out and problem solve. We thought this was unfair, and it removed the joy from young people from learning and from participating in the development of their community. So with a bunch of friends, we started these innovation challenges. Some of you might have seen Kelvin's video, where we're trying to really have young people think about problems in their community, form a team, and tell us how they want to solve that problem, tell us what resources they need to solve that problem. And we've done this in Sierra Leone, Kenya, and South Africa. And what we do in return is we understand the impact and the potential, the skill, and the innovation. We give them mentorship. We give them resources to go out and actually solve and build prototypes and bring them on to share their experience in a camp. And many of these young people, and we go all across the country, reach out kids in all schools and all radios, have never really been asked to think outside the box before. Now, what do these young people do, right? They are leaders in their community. Now, that's Bonolo and his team. She's 15. And what she's doing is she's growing cyanobacteria, and she does this within a team called Spiritins. And they grow protein and dried protein, which they cultivate in their lab and share around. But they don't just stop there. Everybody knows malnutrition is horrible. So what do? They form a team that goes from school to school and engage other high school students and tell them about malnutrition. They don't need to wait for other people to come and tell them how to solve their problem. They are the leaders that we need. Now, we also have kids who, like the gentleman on your left, Mohammed Hadin, who perhaps are influenced by things that they see. He came to follow me, and he's one of my mentees, and I brought him to Google, and he saw the Google Glass. For him, Google Glass was interesting, but what he wanted to do, he wanted to create light so that he can read at night, so that he can do his homework for himself. So he hacked that together in the lab space that we've created, where the kids have access to tools, have access to mentors as well. The other team of ladies, Tracy and her team, she's also 18, and what they do is they love animals. Everybody loves animals. There's multiple millions of dollars in grants to go and save elephants. Now but most of the people who are going to save elephants are not from Kenya like them, or are not young people. But so what we asked them to do was that they were supposed to think about those solutions themselves. And they created a prototype with PhD students at the MIT Media Lab that detects when people cross into game parks using infrared sensors. My favorite and final example here is Adama. 2 years ago, Adama was one of our finalists. What she wanted to do was solve cholera problems because 2 of her members had passed away. And we supported her, and they went and built wells and protected those wells. Fast forward to now. I am here in Mexico, not really in Sierra Leone, helping with Ebola. But Adama reached out to us independently because she wanted to use the same team to come back and go into their communities and engage other people about public health and about sanitation. Now, what we do is really investing in the future. We believe that the best ways to learn is by making. And if learning is a human right, then we have an obligation to enable our young people to learn by making. Thank you very much.